The issue of the census is too important for any stakeholder not to be involved. And as I saw things flying off the handle, I thought it was important to try to bring some leadership to it so that we would end where we hope.
Sure.
I also want to thank all of our partners, including Legis and all of the different stakeholders that have been a part of this process. The issue with the census is that it's a process, it's not an event. And I think we started off a little bumpy because we didn't provide proper information to our people.
Okay.
And that was why the initial interventions, at the media level was important. We had a meeting yesterday, and I wanted to find out where we were.
Okay.
And I'm very happy with the numbers that I'm seeing. I think the stakeholders in the international community, everyone is happy that things have gotten back on track. So if you look at the enumerated numbers, I'll just give you some figures initially. There are two things that are happening in the census. They're first looking at how many households we have, how many houses across the nation. And it was estimated that we had about 1,428,074 households across the country. Out of this number, 93% of the houses across our country have been identified.
Okay.
Because it is based on the number of houses that you will now go to the second stage and see how many persons
live in those houses.
Yes.
Okay.
The mean was 4 persons per household, but we know how large our families are. So it was necessary.
Traditional families, African families.
Yeah, and sometimes you have extended family even living there.
Surely.
But the point was to count everyone.
Okay.
And so the population that we began with was 4,996,940 Liberian people out of our population. So out of this 4.9 or 5 million approximately, we've done about 4 million that have been counted across the country over the last 5 weeks. And I want to just go by some of the numbers. I won't do all, but for example, in Bomi, they've enumerated 264 houses out of 303.
Okay.
So we are 84% in Bomi. There are some good numbers, and let me go to the good numbers. Grand Jide, out of 431, we are at 100%.
It means that
Grand
everyone
Jide is complete.
Okay. Everyone there has been counted.
Everyone has been counted.
Okay.
And so that's a good number. And other counties are at 99%. Lofa. The place we're having an issue is Monserrato. But even in Monserrato, we are at 77%. But all of the other counties are at really good numbers.
Okay.
So we're hoping between now to Saturday, we're hoping to conclude this whole process.
Okay.
Of everyone
between
being
now
counted.
and Saturday?
Yes.
Is that possible?
It's possible.
Okay.
Remember, this process started almost 2 months ago.
Yeah, surely.
So we're at the end. We're closing out on Saturday by the grace of God. We are also setting up call-in numbers so that those who may have gotten, sometimes there will always be a gap here and there. We'll set up these numbers over the next week. We want to make sure if we have forgotten or if somebody wasn't home, they can call in, and I think the numbers will be made available to the radio station so people can call in and say, well, I'm here, I haven't gotten counted yet. Some people may have been out of the country, wherever it is. We want to capture as many people as is possible. And so the whole of next week will be final map-ups and all of that. The second good news is that because Grand Jide is complete at 100%, their payments will now start. Remember, we started off paying 25% to everybody.
Okay.
Once you finish your work at 100%, you turn in all of your tablets, you turn in all of your documentation, then you start paying those who have finished. So Grand Jide, as of Thursday, tomorrow, will begin to get their payments because they have completed their work. Okay. We want to encourage the other areas, especially in Monserrato. We're right here. There's still issues. People have sent numbers that are attached to other people. If the system says the money comes to Joa Howard Taylor, and I don't have a phone, maybe I use my mother's phone. Her name is Martha Ann Taylor. When the money goes to the account and it says Martha Ann Taylor instead of Joa Howard Taylor, it will bounce back.
Okay.
So we're hoping that people would have resolved all of these little issues. There are some people who have not yet sent in their data because they are far away from the center where you can get internet. We're hoping between now and Saturday, all of these small issues will be resolved so we can start paying. What I had a conversation about yesterday was let's make sure that we can encourage all of our young people who have, if you're far away, please try to get to your call center, because every county has a hub somewhere.
Okay.
Try to get your documents in, try to get the tablets in, so that people can get paid before the Christmas. I think this would be my ideal point, that people finish their work, turn in everything that you have so that we can start to make the payments.
Okay.
So I think we had a very good point, and I just wanted to say thank you to everybody, including the Crusaders for Peace and Madam Julie Endy. You know, she's always been our PR person from I don't know how
Family
long.
member, right?
Yes. And she would take critical issues. I remember during President Taylor's tenure when we're dealing with polio. Thank you, Mama. And she went to every nook and cranny of this country. And between the work that she did in the Ministry of Health during Dr. Comer's tenure as Minister of Health, every child was vaccinated. So whenever there's an issue concerning PRO and information dissemination, she still has the best formula across the country that can get the information down. So I want to thank her, because she came in at a point when we were looking at all of the issues. They've gone across the country. They have people everywhere, sending these messages so that people would know everybody should get counted. We are where we are, and I just want to say thank you to her.
Okay, Madam Vice President, thank you very much, at least for the update. We initially targeted 4.9, but we've done 4 million. I think that's a major progress. Now, Madam Vice President, you indicated about the challenges in Montserrado. You said and it's surprising that county way in rural Liberia, like Grand Gita, who complete by now, and Montserrado, there's still challenges. Didn't religious people explain to you as to what's happening?
Well, when people are from the capital city, there always may be some issue. And I know some of them had received money. They didn't show up to work. So we had to go and find new people to go back into the field.
Can you imagine?
So there are those things. And then sometimes the telephone numbers was a problem in assessing. Because when you send your documentation in, everything has to tie in. Because these are financial issues. At the end, we're hoping a full audit will be done of the system, of what has happened, what the shortfalls were, so that if we do this 10 years from now, we have learned. So all I want to do this morning is to encourage our young people who are, the rural Montserrado too is difficult to get. You go to Todi, you can't get any telephone call there. But what Legis is doing, as of tomorrow, they will be sending additional teams behind those people who have not yet brought in their information to find out what the issues are, so that we can have them resolved, so everybody can go to sleep. Holidays, people will be happy to get their funding. So there have been some technical issues. Let me go over some of the technical issues according to the report we got yesterday. Okay, there's some operational issues. Recovery of tablets from enumerators in hard-to-reach communities. Because when you complete your work, you must turn in your tablet with everything in it. And then the supervisors at the county level will verify from their listing as to what your numbers look like, if it's real. If you say there are 20 houses here, you end up with 10 houses, then that means there's a gap. So that is an operational issue that people are having. Some of the young people feel that if they turn in their tablets, they may not get paid. And I want to add my voice to that of the international community. All of the funding is available. But you're working, you have to work 25 days a month to get paid. You have to sign in every day for 25 days in order to get paid at the end of the month. If something happens, and even if you're at work, you didn't sign in, when the pay slip goes to the accountant, you'll say, Soba didn't come to work for 10 days. Why are we paying him full salary? So those are some of the operational issues, but I can verify from what I saw and what I heard yesterday that this funding is available. We need to hurry and get our data in, get the tablets in, because the UN system closes by the time we get to like the 20th, because people will go for vacation, everybody's taking a break. So we want to encourage the young people. I can guarantee them that once their information is submitted, they will actually get their full amount. And we didn't want to say pay 20%, pay 25%, it would just be more cumbersome. So the balance 75% is available. Those who are listening, those who are the supervisors, please encourage the young people to turn in their tablets and their information. They are guaranteed, because I know I saw what was available, that the funding is available. We need to just make sure the processes are completed. Of course, there are some technical issues. For example, there are some areas that have no internet connectivity. So a young person could have gone in some of the bushes in Montserrado and counted, no way to get to him, no way for him to get back. But if you finish that work, just come back to the nearest internet spot and transmit your data. Don't be afraid, because some of them are afraid. Oh, if we do this, we'll not get paid. I mean, that's why I have been involved in the process to ensure that by the time we're finished with all of this, people will have gotten their pay. There's also, with the exception of Montserrat that has most of these issues, all counties are expected to reach 90% enumeration by December 15, which is just a few days away. So
No.
there are still few gaps, in terms of internet connectivity. We're asking everybody to please bring their information. The UNFPA has deployed additional technical support to go out to the places where we have not heard from some of the young people, to find out what has happened, how can we resolve it. So I
Okay.
think this is where we are.
Now, I'll come to you, Madam Andy. Let me just ask, I think part of the problem in Montserrat is because people try to, people have started politicizing the entire process.
And that was what the issues were when we began to look at it.
Okay.
And I thought there are some areas that shouldn't be politicized, but everything is political in Liberia.
Yeah.
Healthcare should not be politicized. The decisions concerning healthcare must be made based on the medical needs of our people, period. Education is another sector that should not be politicized. And of course, when you're dealing with census and the implications across the development spectrum of what this census represents is greater than what anybody can imagine.
Surely.
And so all of us must get involved, and that's why I couldn't sit on the sidelines. Regardless of what the issues are, I hope everybody has added their voice for people to get counted, because the numbers we'll get now will be our development indices for the next 10 years. If you want a school, if you want a road, if you want a clinic somewhere, no one's going to do it if the numbers don't show. We have some areas, and I like to talk about Bong because that's where I know. Sanoye district has 5 clans. It's the largest area in Bong County. There are some areas all the way to the Simple River, no network, but people are living there. If you don't count those people, for example, and someone says, okay, let's open a road to give access, why would you do it in an area where you are looking for development to be maximized by the number?
Them.
Yes. So they do have to make sure, and that's why over the next week we'll have these numbers, and I think Julie has access to them, so people can call. If in case nobody has reached to you and you hear this message, please call. They will be looking out for that information to make sure no one says, oh, I was not counted, because it is important.
Okay. Let's go to you, Madam Judy Andy, Liberia's Culture Ambassador. You've been tasked with the responsibility to do social mobilization. To what extent did you succeed, Madam Ambassador?
Thank you, Saba, and it's a wonderful experience, and this will go throughout my life, sitting with the Vice President, talking about census, and she's there on the technical side and giving all the technical information. Today is my birthday, and this is the best birthday in my life, sitting with the Vice President of Liberia, who is also the chief. So I'm very grateful. Back to the census.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
God grant you many more years of productive work, because I can say from my years in politics how impactful her work has been.
Okay,
And
that's
so
good.
we'll make sure that the birthday gift will come before the end of the day.
Yes, so today is my birthday, but it's a working birthday.
Okay.
And when I leave here, we are going to the community. We are intensifying Montserrat. We have the areas where, where we have some troubles and a hot zone. So we're going to those particular areas to encourage the people for them to be counted. Because if you look at the data, as the Vice President was saying, you will see areas in Montserrat that, we're having challenges. So those areas that we're going to touch with the enumerators are there, and then of course the mobilizers are there. We're using innovative measures, persuasive measure to just let our people know that this census is very important. So we'll be going. I'm also going to set the float out in a mobile moving stage. We're talking with you on the radio, to intensify, because we're going to be closing the social mobilization component, community engagement component, to the public in terms of publicizing it. But we're still going to go horse to horse, door to door.
Okay.
But we're going to close at West Point tomorrow, and we're going to start by 3 o'clock. So West Point will be actually locked down. We'll tell the people thank you for standing up to be counted. The artists will perform. The commissioner will speak. The different partners will say what they have to say. That is just the activity of communication and media and social mobilization. But we've been able to cover the 15 counties.
Okay.
We have communicators, mobilizers, and supervisors in those counties. And then we got the jingles on the community radio stations. We had talk show hosts that also help us, like you've been doing on the Census Hours, ECOWAS Radio, and Prime, and OK, and All Power, all these different radio stations. Then we had the traditional leaders. We have the Council of Churches. We have the Imam Council, the Muslim, the women groups, and we deploy them, as you can see, in the Sync-Up Belt, and all the way to 540, we deploy WIPNET, and they are going out, the Lutheran Church women, different women groups, Crusader for Peace, and Kukatono women, Women on the Move, to say, just so that people get the message of the census. And we've been going to Margibi, where we had a tough spot also, and we went to this place, Division 20, Todi, Margibi, and everyone have been counted. And I think that was a plus. So we organized a little dance competition, and we gave Christmas gift to the children. So we're going to be motivating the parents too, because those children need to be counted. It's been 14 years since we have the census. And of course, yesterday, the vice president made it very clear that everyone should be paid before Christmas. So the communication team, we are ready. As soon as we close the census, all of our information is in. We started because we wanted to give them data also to say how many women we talked to and how many men we talked to. So we're marking the houses, but it was conflicting with the enumerators, so they asked us to stop, and so we stopped.
Okay.
But now we're going to be paying everyone that participated, whether they do radio talk show, whether newspapers and communication, the communication portion of it, the community engagement and the door-to-door, that interpersonal communication skills that were used, they are going to be paid before Christmas.
Okay, so we still, like you heard, we still have, we targeted 4.9 million, and we've done 4 million. Okay, good, though, but we still need to do the rest of the people. How are you intending now, trying to strategize so that those counties where we still have people, we can be able to ensure that the message gets there and people cooperate?
Okay, I think when the vice president was speaking, she told you that some of our counties bringing on good numbers. But right now, our trouble areas at Margibi and Montserrado. But even with that, Montserrado is 73%.
Okay.
So we need to go into those areas. It's not everywhere in Montserrado that are having issue. Now, if, let's say, for example, the Painesville belt. Painesville is very huge. So we're having issue that we're going to intensify, using every channel available to us. That's what we are doing on radio, appealing to the people to work and deliver their data, because they will be paid. The vice president came in, and I was in a meeting yesterday, and she said, all I want is that these people should be paid before the close of before Christmas. And the UN now is going to be closing their books. So it is left with you now. It's your responsibility, and it's on your part as a patriotic citizen. Even though you're not too sure you're going to get paid, but just trust Liberia for once and turn in the data. Because once you turn in the data, because the data is going through a dashboard, once you play with that computer, that tablet that you have, it will send the information to the dashboard here. Then we know what we are doing. Now, even before the provisional results come out for the census, we will know on the dashboard how we are proceeding. And I think we're looking good. But to just look our best, we just appealing to our young people, because most of the enumerators are young people, to just send in their data and they will get paid. And you know that you can look at somebody and know who that person is. The vice president will not tell you that you will get paid and you don't get paid. For me, that's when I would really run, because in the meeting yesterday, when the vice president said, pay the communicators. We need all this money. I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. So they need to just rest assured that they're going to get paid. I know it's difficult. You work and people don't pay you. I go through that all the time. I do a lot of work with a genuine contract signed and everything. Time to pay me is I run to the vice president myself. I run to the president and say, they people even want to pay me from the ministries. So I know, but I'm telling you, this one you are going to get paid because the funds are available. UNFPA, the World Bank, the funds are available. They only need your end result so that they'll be able to pay you.
Madam Vice President, you came into the picture and you brought in that leadership, which today we see the dividends. On this radio, in fact, some weeks ago, we had our correspondent reported on a fellow, one of the enumerators, who said that he wouldn't turn in his machine and his tablet, except that he's paid. Now you trying to beat your chest that yes, indeed people will be paid. Let's just say to you, because up to present, you spoke about the 100% that Grandians have reached. They all have taken paid. So let's just say
they will be getting paid as of tomorrow.
Okay, as
because
of tomorrow.
all of their documents are in, everything has been verified.
Okay.
So as of tomorrow, mobile monies will start to be sent out. So we're hoping that when we get those numbers, they can call in too and say, yes, we are getting our pay, to help people believe that this system will be taken to the extent that we need it to be, and they can trust that they will be also paid.
The question is, did you hear from Liz whether they were able to do all of the verification so that we don't hear it again?
In Grand Juda?
In Grand Juda, yeah.
All of the verifications have been done. Grand Juda is an exceptional case, and I really wanted to thank the people of Grand Juda this morning. The young people have turned in all of their tablets. Saba, the tablets that we have don't belong to Liberia. They were loaned to us by the Republic of Ghana. I want to thank His Excellency President Nana Akufo-Addo, the Ghanaian ambassador, and ECOWAS leaders here for making sure Liberia had those tablets to use, because they had completed theirs and they were just sitting down and said, okay, let's help. So it was really helpful to us to be able to use them. So we have to send them back. But more beyond that, I think people just need to trust this system. The payments are not in ledgers.
Okay.
So let me say that so people don't say, oh, the religious people this and the religious people that. The funds are with UNFPA and the World Bank. And once the system, as Julie said, clicks in to show everything is there, your tablets are turned into your supervisors, you will get your money. And we can bank on that.
Okay.
However, we're saying, and let me say one more information. I understood yesterday that people will be paid per county. So you see, the fact that Grand Juda is 100% complete, they will get their money.
Okay.
So we need all of the counties to reach, once you add 90%, then the counties will start getting paid. Because I was concerned, I said, what if there's one or two issues somewhere? Because there will always be, we are humans. They said once they reach 90%, counties will start to get paid, because they didn't want to pay small, one district in Grand Juda, one district in Monserrado. It would just become too cumbersome. So they've tied the system in together. So supervisors, the regional supervisors, those who are on the ground must make sure that everything is tied into and the tablets are submitted so the entire county will get their money. So that's another point. Let's make sure we do what we need on our side, and the funds are not in the religious account. The funds are still with the UN. That's why we wanted to further reiterate that by the 20th, those systems will be closed. People will go for vacation. If we are not completed with this whole process, then that's where the issues will come up. But they will be on it will be on our back, because we're sending the messages out, and I hope you will continue to reiterate that message. That please send in all the tablets and your information. The UN system has the money, so it's not in a government account for someone to say, oh, I will do it and we'll not get our pay. So I think this is very important for us to also send that message to our young people. Please send all of your details. I am the guarantor here, because like I said, it's not in a government account. It's sitting in the UN. And all they want is verification of the issues that you have done, so that the counties can get their money.
And you're making yourself guarantor. Can you imagine that?
Yes, I am, because it's a UN system. The money is already with the UN system. It's not in my account. It's not in religious account for somebody to say, oh, maybe they didn't let Grand Juda, they let Nima. We have to raise all kinds of issues.
Yeah, surely.
If someone does not get paid, then that means like the young man who called on the radio will be saying, I'm not telling him my team because I don't believe it. But what you will also do is you will hamper others, because we're paying by county. So let's trust. We have a lot of mistrust in our communities because of all of what has happened to us before. But we have to just continue to grow and develop.
Surely.
And this is one thing. You can imagine the international community has put more than $30 million in this process because there were bombs, additional funding had to be put together to do additional work. So it went from 27 million to probably 30 million by the time we finish. So if the international community believes in this process and believes in the young people, there's an opportunity of a lifetime, and I think we shouldn't hold back for any reason. Even those people who may not have been counted, like we said, the whole of next week will be mopped up. So there will be numbers that somebody can call and say, okay, even though Bond County is at 91%, I was in this area, maybe I was in home, maybe I traveled, I haven't been counted. The map up will make sure as many as want to be counted, because there's some people who say not important. So as many as want to be counted, we're hoping that at the end we can get some kind of 95%. So we still have a little bit way to go, but let's make sure we use the system, and things will work out well.
We had this problem, Madam Vice President. I don't know what Liz just now told you, whether that problem has been resolved with some of the enumerators, some of the individuals, the supervisors, having, sending in fake names and not sending the appropriate names. At the end of the day, some of them couldn't get paid, and the whole noise came about. Did Liz just address that now as we speak?
What was done is that people were again informed.
Okay.
If you have a telephone that does not match your name, because we are paying by mobile money, so to make sure everybody money gets to them. And I think it was a good choice not to wait to come to Monrovia and get checks and get all that wahala.
Okay.
Your money goes straight to your account. If you have a number that your name is not in, if you have not yet resolved it, it will be a problem. So I believe there might still be people who saying, oh, we want to. We have to continue to encourage them, because the fact here is, if your name is Joel Taylor and your cell phone number is registered in Joel Taylor, you will get your payment. So we want to encourage them between now and Saturday, because we are ending this process. Everybody that has an issue, please have it resolved. Messages have been sent. That's why we even incurred additional costs, because people were in areas that you couldn't call them.
Okay.
So messages had to go out. My man, your telephone number not in your name. What's going on? Please correct it. So there might be those issues at the end, and it will be resolved. But I believe if every county is able to do all of their enumeration by the 90%, the counties will get paid. If you have a problem here and there because of telephone numbers, or you don't have access, then that's an issue. And nothing is ever 100%. But then each enumerator has a personal responsibility now to make sure their numbers are correct, everything is in order, and that they can turn in all of what they have to the latest board, so that, because this is digital, once you turn everything in, the numbers automatically float into the boards that we have, so people will see where we are. So please, I hope the radio stations and others will join us in sending this message, so we have a smooth sailing in this one.
Okay. So when do we end this process officially?
Well, we're ending on Saturday, by the grace of
The
God. With all
17th.
of these, yes, Saturday,
Okay.
whatever date Saturday is, and the next week will be map up. Areas where maybe one or two people were not counted.
Okay.
So we'll make sure all of that is done. Upon the receipt of all of those informations, there will be they usually in the system there will be some sampling. They will have to do that sampling also, just to make sure. Okay, Sober George said he went to house number 50 in Congo Town, and there were only 3 persons.
Okay.
So they will have other people go and just double check and see, does this house only have 2 persons? So there will be some spot checks like that to verify the numbers that we are having, which I think is a good thing. When that is completed, the full report will be done, and I believe the census report will be sent to the legislature and to the office of the president, so that those numbers now can become our numbers as we go into 2023.
Madam Ambassador, are you still going to ensure that the social mobilization aspect of this whole census continues beyond the 17th, or you end also?
No, like for those who sign a genuine contract, their contract will end as of the 15th. But the Crusaders for Peace as an entity will still be doing, sport check, whether there's an emergency, a social mobilization activity, we will still go out. It's not about whether they're going to pay us. We want the process to end on a good footing, so that we all can say we're part of this process. So they are already aware. The Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, the Legis Communication Team, and Crusaders for Peace will be out there to make sure that the communication aspect is well on course, social mobilization, drawing from what lessons learned, what can we go, maybe feedback, let's go to this place as an emergency. Crusader for Peace will do that. But those who sign contract, they are volunteers from different organizations. They end on the 15th, and they will end at West Point, like I told you. The reason at West Point did very well in terms of standing out to be counted. So we selected that particular area to close the social mobilization component of it.
Okay, shortly I'll open the line so that we can hear from our people. I'm sure there will be individuals who will come up to say they have not yet been counted. Because I was just talking with somebody this morning, and the guy said up to present he hasn't seen any enumerator. Let's just enumerator, and he's right here in Montserrat. Madam Vice President, before we open the lines, you indicated that so far about $30 million has been pumped into this. Is it all government money?
Approximately.
Okay.
No, government only paid $3 million, and then when we started having some of the bombs, they had to now find additional amounts. So I'm not sure what the additional amount coming in from government was, but I believe it will probably be around 30 million with the international community coming in. But once this whole process is completed, a full audit will be done, and I will be involved in that process to make sure the information is discussed too, so we know what has happened. Because at one of our meetings, a young man asked me the question, oh, they said the lady spoke corrupt. I said, I'm not involved in that issue. Okay. What I want to do now is to ensure that the process for which we all agree to take part ends on a good note. We have our numbers. Afterwards, you're talking about UN funding. So there will be a full audit, reports will be made available, and I will be prepared when those reports are done to come and sit on the radio. Let's discuss it so we get lessons learned, and then in the end, whatever the issues are, again, that's a presidential decision, not mine. But I just wanted to get involved with this issue to make sure there's some leadership in ensuring that we land in a good place so that those funds that are being earmarked in the basket fund for Liberia for the census will achieve its desired effect.
Let me thank you, Madam Vice President, on behalf of the Director General for that leadership role. I think you did extremely well.
Thank you.
Okay, let's try to open the lines quickly. 0776540987, or better still 0880514096. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Sabo.
Yes, sir.
Madam VP, good morning, ma.
Good morning.
Good morning, Julie Annie.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, this is Mr. Benedict Ezra calling from Monrovia. Madam President, I'm opportune.
Madam Vice President, please.
Madam Vice President.
Yeah, maybe one day I will get to that play, but I'm not there. Yeah, waiting for my own turn.
I know, right?
Madam Vice President, I'm so delighted about what you said. You are so good to all. You are so special to us. I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Very much for a seated Vice President to leave for office and come to enlighten us. Who is what commendable. So I say thank you, man. Continue your efforts. God will surely bless you. And Mother Judy, we say thank you too for your leadership role that you continue to play. Thank you. You always there for us, for each and every one of us. Even when somebody is so weary, somebody is so vexed, you always make us laugh.
Okay.
Thank you.
Many thanks. You made your point already. Let's take this call on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good morning to the Honorable Vice President of Liberia.
Good morning.
My name is Daniel Zola Johnny from Cincinnati. So I want to appreciate the Vice President, and I also want to use this time to encourage my fellow young people who want to view to trust her ability, and on the way she thinks I know everyone will get their money, let them turn in their result so that we can reach our international partners and trust us as young people in the country. Thank you for the time.
Many thanks. Let's take this caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Sir George.
Yes, good morning, sir.
My name is Nelson M. Down. I'm from New Jersey, the Beach Street Sound, OFI. I was contacted, and I want to say thank you to the Vice President and that of the Ambassador Institute. Which is doing a good job. Thank you very much.
Many thanks. We'll go to the other line, 0776540987. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Sir George.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good morning to our mother, the Vice President of the Republic in State City. I want to say good morning to all of you. Yeah, okay, I'm Melvin Harding, a digital intern. I want to extend my thanks and appreciation to our mother this morning for the liberation, making her to understand what is important. But my concern have to do with the data being collected for persons with disability because we want to know the total data on persons with disability because those were concerns that we raised before even the exercise commenced. So I want to know whether the data is like getting persons with disability involved and capturing the percentage of persons with disability into the census.
Okay. Okay. The vice president will answer that later on before the program ends. Let's take this call on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, people. Sabo.
Yes, sir.
And let me say good morning to the vice president and that ambassador. Let me appreciate both of them this morning. You see, some people will call on the radio, they will say the new radio never cut them. But then the same people told the new radio, you're going to carry out your president, your gate, how does it do with it for your car, and I'm prepared for everybody to ask me any question. And the new radio will leave. You cannot force the people to respond to you if you go to the house and then try to investigate. And then you call a supervisor, explain your supervisor if the person cannot respect you, how you call it, talk to your supervisor before you leave the place because we don't want no holding and putting on the fee. I think the new radio did extremely well by going on the fee and collecting the data, taking for the information and the time.
Thank you also. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Madam Vice President.
Good morning.
This is Quick Kima speaking to you from Depot Street, to be precise. I would like to really appreciate your leadership role you have played and you deserve being a good role model. You are my role model. I'm appealing to you, even though not your oversight, but I'm just an appeal on behalf of the board of Bomikari and Babu. So please ensure that those errors are given a perfect communication through the 2 GSM network, that is Second and Orange. Please. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mary thanks.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to be thankful to God and thanks the Vice President first for talking on the issue. I'm a participant of this process. And we went through the process, I enumerated and I presented my material. For the 25% she spoke of, some of us we didn't receive. But because we don't want that problem, we completed our work, our supervisor, they observe our work, and we turn our material over. But every time to the county director, when you asking for me, I will assign in reverses. When you asking, she don't give you no good answer pertaining the 25%.
Okay. Okay. The vice president is taking note. She'll respond to that later on. Good morning.
Good morning, Sabo.
Yes, good morning, Ma.
Good morning to our dynamic Vice President of the Republic of Liberia.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning, Honorable Judy.
Yeah, good
Happy
morning.
birthday.
Thank you.
You know, this is Rose Vega calling from Balancing. Thank you so much. Honorable Vice President, what are you doing for the youth and children, the women? And, you know, the role that you play in this country and the world so far. Then God bless you.
Amen.
So you, ambassador, the city, because who are scared, the Germans who are blocking and making roadblocks, and you're just kidding. You're playing a role as a mother. I remember, Judy, when we were in the police at the time, we were done the disarmament. We went in my country, I know the role you play. Because from home, I was raised by, and that boy, I can eat that one. That boy bless you, man.
Amen.
That boy said, I'm going to my little children.
Okay. Thank you. Many thanks. Let's take this call on the line. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes,
Good morning,
sir.
Mr. George.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Simon Boas Union and I do call from Uzo Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah. I would like to thank the Vice President for her level of understanding and by putting things in order. But then, for me, I'm a numerator, and the guy who is now with me up to now, you have not yet gotten the 25% and even the sitting fee. And we're done at Lukistan, and up to now, you're not getting a pay, so I don't know how they're going to talk about that.
Okay. The VP is taking note. She'll respond to all of you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I'm
Yes.
Sadibu Kemoka of Lady Cinco.
Okay.
Around 21 Street, Children Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Around our area, the opposite Amadia. They are now ready. Check on here.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, hello, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, around Amadia, opposite Amadia on 21 Street, Children Avenue. Yeah, they have not seen anything. They have not marked our house yet.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Sobot, and good morning to the Conscious Money Liberian.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Abraham Political Mojo Setu, and I call from the headquarters of the Veterans Bureau on the most talk about Avenue Commission morning. Let me appreciate the Vice President of Madam Joao Taylor with our own sister of NT mother, Judy Aden. I think they bring pride to our country to educate the people the important, the significance of the issue of the census. Our mother can be on the feet, encouraging over this census process. Let us embrace the process and let's take the process serious. And I'm appealing to those who have little issue. Your issue will be resolved. You see, in the eyes of the president, like, bro, the vice president doing extremely well. So you're not listening to her and then listen to the thing instead of do what is right in the interest of the vast majority. Together with positive mindset, we can be Mama Library better.
Many thanks. Let's take this call on the line. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Brother.
Yeah, let's hear from you quickly.
To my past president, our Dr. Labra Culture Ambassador, to you in studio. Good morning to you both. And I think like I will just listen to you both now to give a report because after the whole time we have been contact, your work on the official, you know, the regular report in your hand. So, yeah, thank you for your hard work. I'll do more in studio.
Okay. The lines are still blinking. Good morning.
Good morning, Stubber, and good morning to our Vice President.
Okay.
Good morning.
I'm Augustine Jella calling you from Foya.
Oh.
The issue here is that we work and we don't receive the certain fees and the 25%. I know how would it be stable.
Okay. Your work, you didn't receive the sitting fee, and okay. The vice president is taking notes. She'll respond to that, please. She'll respond. Good morning. Good morning. Hello? Okay, this call is not ready. Let me take this call on this line. Good morning.
Good morning,
Yes, good morning, sir.
how are you, man?
I'm okay.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yeah, listen to you, please. Go right ahead.
Yeah, okay. I just want to talk to our mother, the President of the and our mother, Vernie. So I just want to tell them thank you. Mother, our mother, Joanne Taylor, this Joseph P. Kaikola for former district.
Good morning.
Teacher now.
Oh, well. Wala sheba adama.
Yeah, that money.
Amina.
Yeah, so, you know, I listen to someone every morning since that day. When he's talking about Sando Kani, I say, yeah, you might Mukante. So, right now, this morning I joined my Mukante.
Thank you.
So, I just want to tell you, thank you for your hard work and God continue to bless you. Don't forget what people will say, we the Liberian, half of us will be 75. So, I want to tell you, thank you, your good work, continue to bless you.
Amen.
Okay, many thanks. We'll take two more calls, and then the vice president and Judy will respond. Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning, people.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to the Vice President of Liberia and to
Thank you.
Hello? Oh, he's off the line. Let me take this caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, I'm Nancy T. Andrew, one of the PWDs in Foya District, Lofa County. Yeah, this morning I want to appreciate the studio guests, our Iron Lady, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Majoa Howard Taylor, and Sis Julie, thank you very much this morning. We are listening to you people, and thank you very much at least for getting the clarification of these ladies. Really, our brothers and sisters was in Danima, but really this morning you're clear the way for them. At least they have the wit. And so our vice president, Joe Howard Taylor, this morning we want to talk to you with a PWD, person with disability in Lofa County. We are very, very much happy this morning to monitor you on Radio ELBC. And we hope that this December, you will join us in Lofa County. The disabled want to see you in Lofa County this year. Run for us to celebrate. Not only in Moravia, so we also need you there. So we are very, very much happy this morning. At least I try to get here, and happy for me to get you to talk to you this morning that we are in need of you. We have a lot of challenges in this district, in this country. We need you to come around us so you can help us to address these challenges.
Okay.
Thank you very, very much this morning. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate your time also. Let's go to the Vice President and Julie to respond to those concerns, and we'll take leave of them.
Okay, let me respond to the concern of the 25% that may not have gotten paid according to some of our callers, because I think 3 or 4 callers mentioned that.
Okay.
There are some numbers I would like to give, Sobo. The first one is 0779 476088. That's 0779 476088. 0799 476087. 0799 476086. 0799 476090. So all of the numbers are 0799, and they are
0779.
07. Okay, let's start again. So So all of the prefixes on this number is 0779, and then 4760. The difference is one line is 88, another line is 87, another line is 86, another line is 90 and 92.
Okay.
So 0779 476088, 0779 476087, 0779 476086, 0779 476090, 0779 476092. So these are the numbers. If someone hasn't been counted, if you haven't been paid, whatever your issues are, please call the hotlines so it can be resolved.
Okay.
Because according to the information I got, almost everyone should have gotten paid on the 25%, except there may be an issue with telephone numbers or information not being transmitted.
Okay.
Because there's a set amount of work you have to do and submit it. But I believe there are not many people left in our category. If there are any persons left in our category, please call these numbers. And I hope ELBC will make itself available towards Saturday to open the radio so people can call in, so we can get an idea of where we are falling short. Nothing is ever 100%, but I'm working with these people to make sure everything is resolved. The other issue and the places that people have not yet been counted, all these numbers will help us there. I want to talk about the guy who called and said that there were some enumerators who went to some houses and people refused to be counted. There's a civic responsibility. As a Liberian citizen, we have to do the right things. And this is in your own interest. Because if people don't count you, when the development plans are being made for the future, you'll not be a part of it. Because then they will say, we want 10 persons on this route to fix the road. If they only count 4 and you got the other 6 in your house and you say we're not being counted, the whole community will not benefit.
It's your own disadvantage.
Yes, and so I want to encourage everybody, regardless of how you feel, where you are, what has happened, what hasn't happened. We are humans. You know, yesterday I was talking to one of my friends and she was complaining, you know, we have this problem, we had that problem. I said to her, you know, for me, I'm alive. God has given me another opportunity to do the best that I can. Because the life that we have is a gift.
From God.
Whether you're in Nimba, you're in Grand Chide, you're in Soso, you're in Sanoye, wherever we are Liberians, and that is what makes us Liberians. If we do our part and government does its part, eventually things will rise. And so I just want to encourage everybody, if for some reason somebody was angry and you say, oh, I'm not getting counted, you still have a small opportunity between now and Saturday to call the Crusaders for Peace, the religious people, all these numbers that are up here. People will be taking account and they will go back just to make sure we don't have a situation where people will say, oh, we're not being counted. So I just want to encourage you. It is our civic responsibility. Let's do our part. We will ensure that whatever payments that are supposed to be made will be made because it is already available. Someone called about some data collection, and the data that we're collecting is not just for elections, even though elections is an important part, because at the end we'll look at each district to see where people are. The legislature needs the number to set the threshold for what representatives will be responsible for, because the senators are responsible for the whole county and the state, but the representatives must have almost equal number of representation so people are not overwhelmed. In some areas people got 200,000, in some areas people got 30,000. We must balance that, and that's why it's tied to the electoral process, but that is not the only reason. They will be taking information on those who are under 5. If we're talking about national insurance, as we are discussing now, and we're talking about people who are under 5 years old, or women who are pregnant that the government can provide some subsidy for, when the time comes. This data will help us to know where they're under 5, how many children are under 5, so we can use it to say if we need national insurance, how is the number that we need to guarantee, what the whole process will be, and if we can afford it, or what kind of combination will come into place. We need numbers of school-going kids. Yesterday we were at the educational summit talking about the same things. Where are children? We have free tuition from 7th to 12th grade, and now the president has added all the community colleges, so people are really going to school except for your registration for free. But elementary school now is out. So how do you get from 6th grade to 7th grade? And the elementary is the basis. If you have that foundation set, so you can go as far as you want to go. So if we leave the whole elementary school out and say people should pay tuition, then parents may not do it. So you might have people falling off because parents didn't even send them to elementary school. So we have to consider that. We're talking about it yesterday. So how many children are we talking about? If you don't have a number, you cannot plan. How many women in the country? We always say, oh, the women more than the men. How many women are here? How many men? When you look at the percentages, and all of these different things will be considered. How many people are teachers? How many people are medical professionals? So when they say volunteer teachers, people just talk, volunteer teachers.
We don't know how many are there.
This census will also tell us, because if you go to find out this head of household and you ask them, what do you do? Okay, I'm a teacher. It's also put down. I'm a teacher, I'm working in a school, we talk. They didn't even pay me a volunteer teacher. So the statistics on the tablet will give information to help us solve all the problems.
Okay.
So when the president stands up to talk, he can say, well, we got 1,000 volunteer teachers that we need to add on the payroll. Then you have a number. We can't just be talking in abstract. We are the oldest African republic.
Sure.
So this census is very critical to our national development plan. Please, I beg all of you, wherever you are across the length and breadth of Liberia, if you haven't been counted, call these numbers. We are prepared to send other people out to make sure everyone is counted, because at the end, the data that we get from this will help us to plan all of the things people want to see.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. Yes, Judy, quickly.
Well, I think the Vice President have done an exceptional job, and this is a wonderful experience to have someone in leadership, because leadership is selflessness, and then to come up on this day in the studio to talk to the Liberian people, pleading with them to send in the data. I think everyone else, I just want to add my little voice to the Vice President and say, look, this is what we can do in a country like Liberia that you love as a nationalist, a patriotic citizen. You can do this. It's your responsibility now to bring out your data so that you can get paid. I know we started it with a big bomb and now we're moving forward, but Liberia at the end will have good results. So it's good to do that. With the communication people, I think we're right on track. The Musicians Union of Liberia have done very well, and the media has been doing a great job. And all of those people, the bloggers, the influencers, and all these people, let's continue to do what we are doing. And those people that are supposed to do the post-communication of the census, they will take it out from us by tomorrow. And so I just look forward to seeing you in these different areas. We are going to Negro Town, we are going to Painesville, we are going Bartnersville, and if you're around there, just come and, make sure the enumerators will come to count. We got to look at things. In 2008, I was fortunate to be one of those, the organization selected to do the sensitization for Census. And the people were concerned about taxes. Oh, you're checking also who can pay taxes. No, it's not about taxes, it's about development. This time around, it's taking a political tune because the census, it was a communication gap. What happened on that day, we should have said, we will start on this day because census is a process. So we should have said in a communication strategy, we will start on this day. That means that from the demographic survey, you got the result and everything, you're using it to go and do the house mapping and all of that. So that process will go on first before the enumerators will go and count you. But we didn't say, we just say, okay, proclamation, stay home. So people thinking that it was not the right thing to do. No, we just needed to add that little communication piece that it is the beginning of the census. Okay. So we want to appeal to you, want to apologize. As I always done on this radio, apologize to you to say, look, we started on a hard note right now. Everyone should come on board. Let's make Liberia proud. Even people within our borders, let make Liberia proud. But if somebody go to your house, just look at that person. Treat people the way you want to be treated. All day long, somebody walk to your house. They don't have a car. They are walking. When they get to your house, then you tell them, oh, I want to talk to you again. For me, treat people the way you want to be treated. Show love. And that's all we need to know, to show love. And that will carry our country forward. God bless Liberia. This is my working birthday.
Okay, we're about to do the birthday song for you. Thank you, Madam Judy Andy. And Madam Vice President, Dr. Joa Howard-Taylor. We really want to appreciate you for the leadership role, the leadership you brought to the entire census, that today at least we have about 4 million people counted. Yes.
Yes. Before we do the birthday, I want to say something about what Julie said about being counted. Don't believe that you are a foreigner so you can't be counted.
Yeah.
We said we will count everybody within our borders.
Okay.
Because at the end of this report, we will now know Liberians are 6 million, for example. Foreigners are 500,000. That too helps us to plan.
Yeah, sure.
Because if there are foreigners within our borders that should be getting license for work, the work permit, and all I want, then we know what the target is to make sure that these people also have their regular, their documentation. Okay. So everybody should be counted. People shouldn't be afraid, oh, I'm foreigner here, oh, you are living here. The fact that you are here, we need to account. And before I close, I want to say thank you to our President, His Excellency President George Manneh Weah, for accepting this concept, even though we have gone beyond the time, and making sure that government was able to play its role. I want to thank the Minister of Finance, who also came in to find the additional funding that we needed at a critical point. And I want to thank our partners. I don't want to start calling names before I get into trouble, because there are many that are involved in this process. I just want to say thank you to everyone for working, and to the Liberians for accepting our plea to get involved in this process and to ensure everyone is counted. And to the media.
Okay, because you
and
have
to
the
the
media out.
and to the media, thank
Quickly,
you.
I just
We're
wanted...
about to protest now.
No, I want no protest on the censor thing.
Yes, Judy,
We are just about to talk about people with disability.
Okay.
We have the commissioner and the team from NUO, and then from the commissioner. They're all on this, and they are partner to the social mobilization team to make sure that people with disability are also counted, so that the government can have work to do with the numbers that will come up with disability. I just wanted to bring that in. And because it's a social mobilization piece, I want to thank the partners. So let me name them. And then, because that's what is there, you have to always brand the partners. So UNFPA, the World Bank, USAID, RH8, and the European Union, specifically the Swedish government, and see that we say thank you. And these are the partners that are supporting it, and the government of Liberia. The Ministry of Information is chairing the social mobilization team, the communication aspect. The latest acting director general, he's very energetic, working very hard. The technical team, Minister Wisse from the Ministry of Minister of Health that came in to help, and all of the UNFPA staff that have been able to make this a success, and to the media institution, Soba, you've been doing an excellent job. Thank you very much.
to the
God
media.
bless you to the media. Media have been doing the Musicians Union of Liberia.
Okay, so let's do this song now.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, so this is just our go home on this presentation of the SMS. Thanks to Anthony Willen, he's been on camera. Thanks to my indefatigable, my illustrious and hardworking producer Melvin Stewart. Sober George is my name. When I'm taking my sabbatical, I'll be back on Wednesday. Vavli Kamara will be sitting in tomorrow. Until then, there's no second chance for fresh impression.